My name is TJ, and today I'm going to talk to you about the process of getting a life insurance license and a few things to consider while going through the process of getting your life insurance license. Life insurance has been something that has been around for centuries, and becoming a life insurance agent now is more common than you think. While many people think of life insurance agents as hardcore salesmen, it's becoming increasingly popular with individuals that are looking for extra income, supplemental income, and even as of recent, possible career changes with the recent job market. So first, let me establish a must needed foundation of definitions before I get into what I will be discussing today. So, let me start off with the definition of life insurance. The best definition I could find online was life insurance is a contract between an insurance company and a policyholder in exchange for a premium. The life insurance company agrees to pay a sum of money to one or more named beneficiaries upon the death of a policyholder. So if life insurance is a contract between the insurance company and the policyholder, the life insurance agent is someone that plays the middleman or woman to help establish the contract. Many people look at the life insurance agent as a salesperson. I look at the life insurance agent as an independent contractor that negotiates a contract between the individual and the insurance company that benefits both the individual and the insurance company based on the individual's needs, goals, and objectives. The common question many people have is, do I have to be attached to a company to get my life insurance license? And the answer is no. You can go directly to the Department of Insurance in your resident state and start the process of getting your life insurance license. For example, I live in the state of Georgia. So the place where I had to go to get my life insurance license was the Georgia Department of Insurance, okay, which is simple. It's a very simple process. If you understand the steps, it can save you a lot of time. And today I'm going to go over those steps and also give you some added tips on how to pass your test on the first try. So, step one is to meet the basic requirements. For most states, you have to be at least 18 years old to get a life insurance license and begin the process. Also, you must not have any felony convictions or misdemeanors involving money. Lastly, you must be a U.S. citizen or a legal resident. Step number two is to complete the pre-licensing education. Georgia requires 20 hours of approved pre-licensing education for a life insurance license. Some states can be more or less. Courses can be taken online or in person through state-approved providers. I often get asked, should I do the online class or in-person class? My answer, if I had to pick one, would be to do the in-person class. The numbers show a higher first-time pass rate for those who went to the class compared to completing the class online. However, If your time or situation only permits you to do the online class, you can still have success with the online class. After completing the course, you will receive a certificate of completion, valid for 1 year in Georgia. So let's assume you completed the class January 1st of this year. In December of this year, your certificate of completion would be invalid, which means you would need to take the class over again. If you did not take the exam within 1 year of completing your class. I repeat, each state is different. I have a quick tip for you. When you complete the class, take the exam within 3 to 5 days of completing your class. I would advise that while you're in the class, go ahead and schedule your test for right when you finish the class, while the information is fresh on your brain. I have seen people complete the class and not schedule the test immediately, and they never end up taking the exam. I don't know the reason behind it, but that's just been my experience. Let me just leave it at that. That's just been my experience. All right, so step 3, after completing the class, the next step will be to go pass your life insurance exam. In the state of Georgia, the exam is administered by Pearson VUE. The life insurance exam consists of 85 multiple choice questions. 5 pre-test questions do not count towards your score. You have a total of 2 hours to complete your exam, so there's no rush. The passing score is 70%. It's a pass-fail exam, so what that means, whether you get a 95%, 80%, 100%, 75%, if you get a 70% or above, it will say pass. The only time you will see a score is if you get below 70%. The reason I say this is because you can overstudy for the exam because you want to get a perfect score. Sometimes this can keep you from attempting the test. Something just to keep in mind. Now, the exam fee currently is $63. Some companies that you work with will reimburse you if you pass the exam. You can schedule the exam at Pearson VUE Testing Center. The next step, as I mentioned, you must have a clean background to a certain extent. Now, there is a background check that must be completed, and that's our 4th step. In Georgia, all applicants must complete fingerprinting. They go through, excuse me for the pronunciation, Gemalto, now it's IDEMIA. The fingerprinting fee is approximately $53. Results are sent directly to the Georgia Office of Insurance, where you're getting your license. Now, step 5 is to apply for your license. You can submit your application online through the National Insurance Producers Registry, that's the NIPR, or CIRCON. The application fee is $100 plus a $20 processing fee. You must apply within 12 months of passing the exam. Again, please do not wait after you pass your exam to submit your application with the fee. Because if it's after the year, you would need to retest on the exam. The next step is to wait for approval. The Georgia Office of Insurance will process your application and background check. Now, if approved, your license will be issued and available for verification on the Georgia Insurance Licensing Search website, where you can print off your license. All life insurance agents, if you put their name in, it shows them on that website. Last but not least, let me talk about the renewal process. So, you got your insurance license, you're helping families and making money, whether that's extra money for you or a career change. The worst thing, I repeat, the worst thing that can happen is you forget to renew your license. Now, if you decide not to renew, I can understand. However, my thought process is to keep it renewed because you never know if you would need something to fall back on. In my office, our agents call months in advance to renew because it's just that important to them. In Georgia, the renewal period is every 2 years by the last day of your birth month. Continuing education, better known as CE, you must complete 24 hours of continuing education, including 3 hours of ethics. The renewal fee is $100. Late fees may apply to that. So now, let me go over a few test-taking tips. Now, this is going to be brief. This is not the test-taking theme right here, but I'm going to go through it. So here's a test-taking tip, and there are many available online. My suggestion is to find a class that is highly recommended. The benefit of going through a company to get licensed is that they can steer you in a direction to ensure that you pass your exam the first try. Also, like I mentioned earlier, take the test within 3 to 5 days of the class. Also, if there is a review session you can attend, do that. The last bit of advice I can give is that because this industry is different, many people don't walk around talking about they want to be a life insurance agent when they grow up, all right? So I did a career day at my daughter's elementary school, and I asked the students what they wanted to be when they grow up. And no one, I repeat, no one said life insurance agent. My response was, it has the potential to pay very well, and you can help a lot of people. Still, no one changed their mind. Now, my point is, most of us growing up didn't grow up hearing a lot of the insurance terms thrown around in the house. So when you first see the information, don't get discouraged because it's brand new information. It's not a hard exam, it's just new information. Attend the class, and also, which is very important, is to study the key terms. If you understand the definitions, you will pass the test on the first try. Also, some terms mean the same thing. So that concludes me going over the process of getting a life insurance license. Remember, you can do all things. And just because it's new and maybe outside of your comfort zone, you never know until you give it your best shot. Go get that insurance license.